Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the beautiful landscape of Scotland, and you once again join us with Highlander 87. He's joining us, but we're actually at Dunnottar Castle, and Dunnottar Castle's down on the shores of the North Sea here at the edge of Scotland. It's quite a touristy, popular place for people to visit, but we're actually going past that south down the coast because we've got another cool abandoned historical location to document on this video. But this just happened to be the ideal area for us to park for this start of the walk. So in front of us folks, you can see the beautiful silhouette of Dunnottar Castle, but it's a real super busy touristy area, and on this channel we love going to areas that's hardly seen and hardly documented, and that's why we're heading south down this coastal land to an area that we've never been. Last week we actually came from the village of Crotton and tried to access that area, but we couldn't get through because the land became so extreme. So today we're basically back, approaching from a different side, because we love documenting all possible history on this channel folks. So let's get into action. Look at this folks, the beautiful scene of Scotland that I always promise you on the channel. And look at this scene with the clear water and the little beach, totally secluded down near the busy castle remains of Dunnottar. And I have done a video walking about at Dunnottar, but I'll do another one in the future. I'll come back and do a better video. But today this is the madness we're going on. And like, these cliffs and stuff are vast. It's actually quite a mild wind here at this point. It's mad in Scotland folks. I can bring you scenes like this on the channel. It's just a beautiful scene of a Scottish castle. Dunnottar's got so much history. It's just amazing. It's built out on that pinnacle of land there, like a peninsula. And then look at this, this is the area we're exploring. There's loads of little viewing areas and stuff, and most people worldwide have heard of Dunnottar Castle, and it is a popular one for folk to come and visit. So this is mad folks, we've just walked like 2 miles up the coast, or maybe a mile I would say, and we got to an area that it was pretty dangerous, but we could actually see that the history we thought was there isn't there. It's just like a mad gully. And look at this here, this has to be the craziest river crossing. Look at this is the craziest bridge on the edge of the side of Scotland, overlooking the North Sea. And we've actually turned around now folks, because the history that I thought was there, we could not find it, and we got to an area that we were actually exploring at last week. So we've covered this whole piece of coast now. We've basically come out here on foot and checked all the wee nooks and crannies, and we're now going to pass the Dunnottar Castle again and go the far side where there's more cool things. We actually passed some amazing land here that I didn't record on the way in, and it is just mad in Scotland how much is all around to be found. Crazy bits of landscape and cove. Whoa! I nearly fell. The cliffy coast here is covered in these mad, high, like mountainous sandstone cliffs, but sometimes it's like almost volcanic rock as well. There's a crazy mixture of geology in these areas, and it blows the mind to see it. There's a few bits that the water's literally going underneath the cliffs through to other bays and stuff like that, and it's like a massive sea cave full of water blasting. So there's Dunnottar Castle folks, the tourist hotspot, and actually we've got a cool wee mission on the go. We're going to go to those yellow rocks away out at the corner there. We're going to make our way along the edge of the land here, and a wee mission down to get an amazing view of the castle never seen before on the channel. And it's a cool wee adventure. It looks like it should be a cool bit to climb down, and we're all about the adventure on this channel. It's amazing to see something like that way in the distance, and just imagine the view we're going to get of this castle. So our adventures on this channel folks, they're totally spontaneous. We just head out left and right, exploring abandoned history and crazy abandoned places, and sometimes it leads us to adventures like this, where you're just like picking apart in the land and seeing if we can even make it. And it is pretty cool. And to have this historical backdrop with the castle, it's on most Scottish calendars or famous places that people visit in Scotland, Dunnottar Castle. That's how it's always heaving with tourists. So if you imagine Dunnottar Castle's built out on that pinnacle of land in the wild North Sea, we're about a mile further up the coast on this other pinnacle of land, which would be absolutely excellent for building a castle or whatever. and it must have just been a similar area before they built Dunnottar Castle out there. This is a mad piece of land we're on, and it's only accessed from a tiny sliver from the mainland. And the side of this place is steep and lethal, but we're going to the far side, so it looks like that yellow rocky kind of area slopes down. So look at this, out on this piece of land, we've come to the far end of this little pinnacle of land. Look, there's a cutout or a dugout area, and we were just saying it would be super strange if they had this big area and they had never built anything on it. So I believe there may have been stuff here at one time, years ago, which is obviously totally gone now. There is a rowing boat kicking about up at the far side there. Shout out if you're on that rowing boat. What's it looking like down here? Wow, it's super windy at this corner. Oh, that could have been a wee dugout in the war maybe, for a lookout on the corner of this bit of land. Stonehaven's just basically round the corner in that next cove, and then Aberdeen's up at that pinnacle of land there, and we're in Aberdeenshire today. And look here, we've got a fisherman coming down the bottom of the rocks at this point. Shout out if you are that fisherman, and I do apologise for wind in today's audio, folks. It's super windy. Look at Dunnottar Castle up here. Here, it'd be cool if we got a huddle on the boat. Be cool if the fisherman gave us a huddle on the boat. Here, will we go down this grassy bit? Let's try it. We've made it down to the water's edge here, folks, and it's so cool in Scotland. Each bit of coast has just got a completely different character. Look, there's the fisherman going round the bottom of the rocks. But look at the way this is. It's like up and down, big crazy rock formations, and the bedrock's similar to what we saw at Crotton last week, with the big pebbles within the sedimentary bedrock. And look, Dunnottar Castle's up on that far end, and it's amazing to see it from here. No tourists come this far on the land, but when you're out on this pinnacle of rock, you get such a cool view of it. And it's quite grippy underfoot. It's like dry stone, but it's just the craziest of surfaces to walk on. Wow, folks, look at this. Dunnottar Castle like never before on the channel. And then these little corners of Scotland, it's like going to another planet. Wow, I can just see crowds of people up at the far end. What a scene. Yeah, it's just weird the way this land is. I love coming into lands like this and exploring. The geology around places like this blows your mind. If you consider how long ago this bedrock formed, this sedimentary bedrock, and then think about each individual stone within it when it was formed and then deposited in like a riverbank, and then quite often it was eroded from a river or whatever, or under the seabed for years as it got trapped within the bedrock. Whoa, that's a sheer cliff. Here, see, some bits is just pure smooth stone. Yeah. See, that shows how deep that gorge is right there. We're super careful here, folks, but we're going for it. Whoa! Whoa. Like right there. That gives you the heebie-jeebies. I want to get eyeballs on it. The shadow's at a poor angle. Look how that is there. Over the years it's just worn out. Yeah, because it's so fragile. Oh, the seam. There's like a smooth seam through it. And that must have happened at a certain time of the sedimentary layers getting built up. And then when the tectonic plates of the earth move, all this stuff moves, and that's how it looks like it's on its side. Because it's been pushed. Yeah, wow. Yeah, you can see the seams and the different layers here of the bedrock sticking up, but that's so cool. Wow, this area here is like a madness. I don't know how to describe it.
You see seams all the time, don't like that, eh?
Yeah, it's like a fake movie set that somebody's made of another planet. Now the shadow's at this angle, it's better to see the smooth rock. You can see how some layers like that are just super smooth. And you've got to think, was it because of ferocious rains washing these pebbles out of all the inland rivers at certain times, like at the melting of ice ages, creating this? And then there would have been years of calm weather creating the smooth sedimentary rock with no pebbles and things. It's interesting to theorise of that as we look at it. Imagine the billions of years of history, not just the thousands or hundreds. Look at the way this is eroded down here. Wow, this is mad. It looks like coral or something, but it is just literally the rock. Look at this one here, folks. It's got a big hole in it, massive cutout.
Looks like that would be just a cut, eh?
Yeah, and down the side here is where that big drop is. I'll go over here so we can have another look at Dunnottar. Wow, folks, look at this. The ancient history is once again in view. This has been a Dunnottar experience like no other. Most folk will go up and walk about the castle and stuff, but on this episode we're exploring all the lands all around Dunnottar, and it gives you an idea of the land north and south of the great castle and the sort of bedrock that's probably also on that area where the castle's built. It's incredible to see, and it is part of the history as well, the history of the land, the geology. The sea is so ferocious and it's super deep, even right in here near the edge. That's like the edge of a cliff right there, Highlander's going towards. Wow. All those seagulls flying about. Yeah, I've never seen a landscape like this. I explore a lot of caves and coastal areas, and each one's so different in Scotland. This is just a mad experience. So this is a postcard of Scotland. When you get a scene like that, not only the castle, the history, but the wildlife and the nature and the wild lands. And I'm going down here to check out this crazy little cove looking area. Look at the erosion on the side of this sandstone here. It almost looks like it's been built or made, but it is literally just natural. Yeah, the whole area there has been underwashed. That rock pool is so deep. Wow. Yeah, that area there looks incredible. Shout out Highlander up on that cliff. This area here looks like a steep cliff. Oh, it's no bad. There's loads of rock pools here. So that's another big rock pool there. And see that? That's so deep and you can see all the way to the bottom. Wow. The seagulls have kind of made their way up there. There is still a few, but they seem to be going in a pack. There's a whole crew of them. There's just seagulls all over the place at this time of year in Scotland. Wow, folks, this is a paradise spot down here. I think there would be less wind if we go around the other side, but this is worth stopping here on our adventure. And wow, once again, we're just out in this. So the landscape here, folks, is so incredible and unique. Little areas like this, clear rock pools that's super deep. Look, little fish swimming about in there. And then it's just the amount of pebbles in the land. It's such a unique landscape. I had to throw the camera back on as we transverse it, as we cross over. And I was going to have a wee look over that side, but look at the land, eh? This is like blowing my mind. And picking a route through it is just super dangerous. This bit here is probably not the way. So look at this, folks. One of the most unique, maddest places I've walked to in a long time. Look, there's a big cave under there and the water's surging. Down here, a crystal clear rock pool. But we've basically just come to the edge of this absolute madness, this unique rock, which is pretty uncomfortable to walk around on. And that's as far really as it's safe to come round. The land drops off. But I love a little point in the land that you can come to like this and just kind of chill out for a half hour and enjoy the sunshine out of the wind. And to keep finding different places each week, never seen. That's what I absolutely love. And a rock formation like this, it's so unique and incredible out in the sea. Obviously the birds now have made this area a home. Yeah, look at the clear water of the rock pool and how deep it is. And then at this side, the ferocious blue waters of the North Sea. And then what's that? A big crevice? Whoa, that's so crazy how clear the water is. It takes a wee minute for the camera to adapt to the brightness. See if you fell down there, that would be lethal. Whoa, look at that. Whoa, that there is insane, but so is that. That's dangerous as anything. You would not get back out if you went in there. Stay back for the edge, like.
Whoa, it goes really
Here, I know. It's so scary, folks. That's what we're all about on this channel, folks. It's adventures in the maddest of places. Obviously, this is quite a fragile rock here. Whoa, that's just the sea going out beyond, all the way to like Norway, Denmark, countries like that up that direction. We're in the beautiful lands. We're in the beautiful lands of Aberdeenshire here, just north of Dunnottar Castle. Look at that! The water's clear and blue today. It's just, yeah, the water goes away and it's like a waterfall, and then boom. Whoa. Each wave just comes in at a different height almost at times. That is insane, a little piece of land like that. Just think, every time the tide comes in, it's blasting it and eroding it like that. Look at the clear water on the shore down here. The tide obviously normally goes up to the line where the barnacles is. Let's take a wee look over this side. Wow, yeah, it's just amazing. I love coming to spots like this, and up on the hill at the far side I can actually see the War Memorial that we will go to in a future video. It's quite a cool walk, but on a day like today it's really busy up at a spot like this. Yeah, that's so lethal there, how deep and slippy that it is. Whoa. You would think if you got a wave coming the right direction you would get splashed. Is it connected?
No.
Oh my goodness, here it is, both the bits of the sea. Ah, you mean the land is not connected?
Aye.
Yeah. Because I was meaning as the water connected.
Right.
Here, that's so scary. Just there, big chunks, it's like broken off over the years and just crumbled away. Then the sea would have worn off that edge between. It is just such a powerful force. And this rock pool here is so dangerous. If you weren't paying attention, you would just walk right into it. But there's no many folk come down into these lands, and it is just pretty much unseen, and I love to see that incredible bedrock. All the millions of pebbles that's within it. And yeah, it's been so cool. We never knew what we were going to see. I literally thought there was going to be like some abandoned history up that way, which we failed to find. So then we've come this other side north, and it is just a whole new land up here. And I love just finding a wee corner like this. We've got an amazing view of the Dunnottar Castle, and then these wee nuggets between. That's what it's all about on this channel, folks. The adventure as well as the history. In places like this, it's like hardly seen and hardly documented. The cool thing with a location like this, folks, it's made by nature, not by humans. The shape of these rocks is uncontrolled by us. It's just the way the sea pounds it each day. The rocks wear away over billions and millions of years, and it really puts it into perspective, like the age of the land or the age of the rock that we walk on here. And to see that, the rock pool crystal clear, you could sit there like a hot tub. It's probably not that hot though up here in springtime Aberdeenshire. So here we are, folks. We've just been chilling out down at that little cove. That's an amazing area down at those rocks, and it was cool to see Dunnottar Castle from that other angle. But now look where we are. We're back up in this kind of level bit of land, and as we saw when we entered this bit of land, it's kind of cut off from the mainland. It's almost like an isolated island with a narrow entrance, and then that mad rock formations and stuff's just off the far corner of it. And the way the waves just total ripping in there, like, it's just, you would never realise it when you're this close to it. Wow. Check it out once again, we've got this incredible view right here. The grass is so difficult to walk on. We were trying to think, like, what path did we even walk in on? It seemed easy when we came in. Now we're stumbling about in these massive chunks of grass. Check it out, folks, we've made it back round to the proper path, and now we're getting more incredible views of this castle. The wind's blowing up here so strong. I do apologise for that in today's audio. Scenes like this on the channel though, that's what it's all about. Sometimes to see the coolest things you need to put up with a gust of wind. Looks like the path's gone down there at one time, and now it's completely eroded away and the landslide's taken it way down the hill. So it's been cool today, folks, documenting the piece of land south of Dunnottar, and then walking past Dunnottar and then seeing that bit a wee bit north and looking up the wild lands. It's cool just to have that wee section of land, to have a wee adventure, to see what's all around. The landscape just keeps blowing us away in these areas. Once again folks, just check it out. This castle's so worth recording as we walk past. And I was just theorising the oldest part will be the middle, with probably the approach defended with a large wall, so it was hard to enter onto the castle rock. And then in more recent years, probably the 1500s, this other castle unit here would have been built at the right hand side, the biggest bit. And then over the years it's been added to and changed and maintained for hundreds of years, making it look like this with all the individual buildings. It's just an incredible scene of a Scottish castle, and it is Dunnottar Castle. I've probably said it already on the video like multiple times folks. Right folks, that's been another cool wee adventure into the beautiful lands of Scotland, exploring a piece of land we've never seen before on the channel. And you know how it is, every week different places we've never been. So yeah, we're ending it here because we're back to the car. Tune in again soon for the next one, because who knows where we're going to go next, and we'll see you soon.